Good evening, everybody. Welcome to DeRazzled, the podcast where we take award-winning worst films and try to fix them. I'm your host, Joe Nealis, and missing tonight is also host Jack Culbertson. Missing in that he is not with me because you're listening to yet another Deleted Scenes episode. That's right, this is the last of our Deleted Scenes from Season 2. So from the last 13 episodes, it looks like, of Season 2. This is a bunch of material that was cut, including some fun stuff with special guests Antonio Palacios of the Cultworthy podcast and our filmmaking partner, cinematographer, director of photography, Scott McGrath. We hope you enjoy all of this as much as we enjoyed making it, even though it didn't make the real episodes themselves. Thank you to everybody who's been showing us love after Season 2 is wrapped up. We're thrilled that people are continuing to discover the show. It would mean the world to us if you would continue to help people discover the show by rating and reviewing the show everywhere you possibly can. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, wherever you listen to podcasts. For those of you who listen on Stitcher, I'm sorry. We know as of August 29th, your platform will no longer exist. And that sucks. I know a lot of people really enjoyed Stitcher and all of the different offerings that it had, including its premium services and whatnot. So we hope that you'll continue to listen on some other platform. If you can't find us on a particular platform you want to check out, send us an email at DeRazzledPodcast@gmail.com, and I promise we will do everything we can to get onto that platform for you. If you haven't been paying attention, the writer's strike is still continuing. As we passed over 100 days as of this recording. I don't have the exact count on hand, but the Writers Guild of America has been on strike for more than 100 days. We're approaching, if I'm not mistaken, 30-something days for the Screen Actors Guild as well. The AMPTP, Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, has begun to return to the negotiating table with the Writers Guild, but thus far their efforts have not really resulted in anything concrete and have in fact resulted in some bad faith disinformation being put out through press. Keep in mind with these negotiations, the official news will be released by the guilds themselves. So if it's not being reported by the WGA or SAG-AFTRA, it's not trustworthy. If it's Variety, if it's Deadline, any of those places, any other major publication, unless it's being backed up directly by the guilds themselves, don't trust it. There's plenty of information they'll be putting out there when things are confirmed. In the meantime, we still stand with those guilds. We hope you do as well, so that the entertainment industry can continue to thrive and continue to create things that touch us and spur conversation and spur creativity. In fact, we hope that continues to spread even further, as now the visual effects artists with Marvel are attempting to unionize under IATSE. So we wish them luck as well. Well, with all that out of the way, I don't have a direct Season 3 update for you just yet. We're working out some scheduling for recording for those sessions in the very near future. So we may have a couple of additional dark weeks coming up beyond the release of this Deleted Scenes episode. Be sure to follow us on social media for all updates on that front. You can find us on Twitter at DeRazzledPod, Facebook at DeRazzled Podcast, Instagram and TikTok at DeRazzled_podcast. And I think that about wraps everything up. So please enjoy these Deleted Scenes. Stick around for Season 3. Spread the rest of the seasons around to your friends so they can check them out. And as always, we'll be back and we'll be sure to razzle-dazzle ya. Did you fart or did I fart? I don't know.
It was a tummy gurgle.
Was it a tummy gurgle? Okay.
It's a future fart.
Fair. I had a big old bowl of chili before I came here, so I don't know what my butt's going to be doing. All right, going live. That's just for Instagram.
Yeah. I ate 2-day-old cedar popcorn and smoked a hookah. That was my dinner.
Your guts are doing great.
I'm doing real good over here, guys. Oh, God. Nate did just say Tom Hanks had a really rough year.
Tom Hanks did have a really rough year, Nate. You're absolutely correct. I wonder why you said that now.
Fuck. He also was riffing on our whale talk, Interspace 2, The Whale, starring Brendan Fraser.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I hate it. Let's go on.
Yep. What do we got in Instagram land?
Nate said, there was a fucking Marmaduke movie?
Yeah, the
I was also
animation looks
surprised.
terrible.
Yeah, what
Like,
the...
I don't know. I don't know how they fuck dogs up that hard, man. It's rough.
God damn it. Fucking A.
What Nate say?
Speaking of inner space blonde.
No. Oh, God damn it.
When you described it, that's what I had in my head, but I'm like, that wouldn't make sense in that film.
What's happening in Instagram land?
Nate had some feelings on Elvis.
Nate, what were your feelings on Elvis?
I hated Elvis. Butler is really good, but fuck that movie is trash.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want trash from Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at least it's stylized fun trash. So
I have avoided watching his Gatsby.
I actually liked his Gatsby. I enjoyed
I've heard
it
that from a couple people that are fans of the book.
I love the book. I fucking love that
too.
book. Yeah, no, I actually enjoyed the movie. Like it's I mean the book is better, sure, but like
Did I ever tell you my like vaguely odd reading experience with Gatsby?
no.
So it was like my first time reading it, and I got a call in the middle of the night from my ex-girlfriend, like recently ex-girlfriend.
Woof.
I think it was, I'm not going to spoil the book. I know it's very old, but I'm not going to.
Sure.
But like if you do know towards the end, it's somewhat appropriate.
Yeah, it is a little uncanny.
And she's like, "Hey, the fire alarms went off in my building." This is when we still lived in like dorms and shit.
Yeah.
She did. I lived across the street. She's like, "Can I come sleep at your place?" I'm like, "Yeah," because that was the closest place. It was winter.
Sure, but a fire alarm in a dorm at IUP is not a thing you have to weather for very long.
It was like,
unless there was a real fire, which
it might have been. Like the fire trucks were there and everyone was kicked out of the place.
What building did she
It was
live
like
in?
one of those, this is such a sidebar. There was like those handful of buildings that were not like technically dorms, but were dorms, but you had like pay extra to live almost like kind of off campus.
Oh yeah, I had friends who lived in those. Yeah,
Yeah, it was like one of those.
yeah. If you were over 21, you could have alcohol in them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, I slept on the couch and finished reading Gatsby and kind of chuckled at myself, but also was sad. Gatsby. Magnanimous. Anyway.
Now I'm just trying to remember if that would be a time where my friends who were there were drunk and accidentally started a fire or something.
Did you ever play the fake NES game, Great Gatsby?
No, I'm aware that it exists. I've never played it.
I've beat it like 6 times. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Right. Yes. You throw your fedora. It's a weapon.
you odd job people in the Gatsby game. I'm so glad I've learned this. That's so stupid.
He was trying to clarify what building it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he would be familiar.
No, not the suites over by McDonald's. Those are the ones. Anyway.
Close to those, but not those exactly.
I think they were the ones closer to the Wyotech kids. This is like 3 people are going to understand what we're talking about.
Fair.
Anyway.
Okay, so what do we got?
We can't do that right now.
Wait, we can't do what right now?
Continue to talk about the weird shit at IUP.
Look, Nate, we can't just narrowcast to you 100% of the time, man.
We'll have you on to just chat about misadventures. Yes, I do remember the frat house burning down. You're right.
Well, I do vaguely remember that happening.
And I agree. I think that, what was it, Blue Lagoon? Was what we were talking about?
The Blue Lagoon, yeah.
Is a mixture of Flowers in the Attic and Castaway.
Huh.
Yeah. Because I also was thinking Flowers in the Attic.
I'm trying to think where the volleyball comes in, and
that's the child.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you heard about horizontal crying?
What?
Are we still rolling?
I mean, yeah. I did.
Oh,
you
okay.
you hit me before I hit stop, so yeah, I'm still.
I just learned about it today. It's apparently if you're a person who wears makeup, you kind of like put your head parallel to the floor, therefore horizontal, so that you can cry, but it doesn't mess up your makeup.
You mean like you lay on your side?
No, like if I'm crying right now, it's just standing parallel to the ground, so the tears go straight down and on my face.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what this episode makes me want to do.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Sorry, poor Jake Lloyd.
Poor Jake Lloyd.
In that moment, it kind of broke through his white privilege.
Oh.
Where he realized, there's like one very vocal bird.
Yeah,
outside.
I just got that too.
We normally record a little later, but even still, shut the fuck up.
It's kind of whimsical.
It's gorgeous outside. Go. It's the last time we're filming during the daylight recording.
He's really vocal. Like, what is happening?
I don't know what to do about this. Hold for bird. Oh, you bitch. Curse you and your comedic timing, bird.
Bird's funny as fuck.
Well, excuse the very vocal bird outside. We're going to continue because, again, we're outrunning a hangover.
Yeah, let's take it again.
So, because of what happened to him with the police,
I'm excited for when we finally get around to doing the Assassin's Creed episode.
Yes.
As I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is the most recent game, so I'm like almost caught up with all the nonsense that is that series. So it's going to be very interesting to finally like put pen to paper on that script.
And what games does the movie cover or try to cover?
It doesn't. We'll talk about that in the episode itself, but it tries to do its own thing. Okay.
So as long as I've played like one of the...
Yeah, I would say, you want to have like some understanding of how the series works in terms of like the Assassins v Templar dynamic. Mm-hmm. But like the actual, like you're not going to encounter anything from like any of the like occurrences in the past. You're not going to see any of the memories that were in the game taking place in the movie. So like there's no Altair, there's no Ezio, there's no other people that you play as. It's a completely different assassin, completely different situation.
It's weird because I saw like a bunch of like press and releases about the movie and then it disappeared.
Yeah, it got a lot of promotion. I remember there was a lot of hype behind it and then it was bad. It was bad. Wow.
God. So last night after you left, people started screwing with the egg / speaker, which was putting the stars on the ceiling, the like projector thing.
Oh, yeah.
And like everyone's fucked up at that point.
Yeah,
everyone's kind of like laying around, and it was like Nate and Courtney, and I think Chappé for a little bit. But Chappé also left like either shortly before you or shortly after.
I think they left a little after me. I think.
The problem with the egg is it's finicky.
Okay.
It's finicky.
Like how so?
The power cord that goes in the back of it.
Oh,
if you like look at it the wrong way, it just shuts off.
It gets nervous and just kind of clamps up.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have to like turn it back on, resync your phone.
Yeah, that's finicky's a good word for that.
And people just started to like pray to the egg and like worship the egg. Don't anger the egg.
Almighty egg, please play my song to completion.
Every time it shut off, everyone was like, "Oh!" I'm like, I don't know how Belinda slept at all last night.
That's amazing.
And someone's like, for your next birthday, I'm going to get you a better egg. I'm like, don't. This is fantastic.
Did you see what just happened?
Yeah. All right.
I wish I'd recorded that shit. Hold on. There was a fly.
I saw.
I don't.
You weren't slating?
I don't think Take two. I don't think I got him, but
there's more time.
That's fine.
It's weird because Johnny Depp also wanted to have a nose prosthetic on a number of his films.
Really?
Yeah, both of them, if I recall correct, at least definitely Johnny Depp has said the reason he wanted that was he didn't want to be cast based on his looks.
I don't like that I'm going to say this, but good on Johnny Depp.
Yeah. And similarly, it was Sleepy Hollow specifically. He wanted to have a prosthetic nose to play Ichabod Crane.
That I feel like makes some sense. Like,
yeah, well, I think the character is described with a crooked nose.
Yeah,
and described as very unattractive in the book.
Yeah, no, he's supposed to be. Yeah, he's supposed to be like a spindly, unpleasant looking motherfucker. Like, I always thought it was kind of weird to cast Johnny Depp in that role. Not that he wasn't good, but
that's actually one of my favorite Tim Burton films.
I really liked that movie. Sleepy Hollow was solid.
Actually scared me as a child.
Yeah,
or teenage. Anyway, yeah, Johnny Depp agrees with you. He should have looked like a goober.
Fucking weird. All right.
A tomato nuance. I mean, we have to recognize first and foremost that Bob Guccione was the CEO, head publisher of Penthouse magazine.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
so
100%.
Since we're on break, I'll give you a real quick rundown of the format. We're doing 2 episodes at once. So the second act, when we get back from break, we're just doing stats. We're going to do awards at 1, all that shit. And then act 3, we'll talk about like what we liked, what we didn't like. That'll be at the end of the first episode. Then the second episode, we'll talk more about who's at fault. So Bob Guccione, Caligula, A Man Who Existed, and then we'll fix it. Which, if yins are okay, I'm gonna take a sip of water. Dive back in.
Take a sip of water. Yeah, nurse that voice.
You should have made a cup of tea with
should
some
have.
lemon
Not a
and
bad idea.
honey.
Should have.
Nice and soothing.
I drank so much of that in college that it makes me want to throw up instantly. Yeah. Cool.
Put your readers back on.
They're already becoming not strong enough.
Yeah.
I'm aging at a rapid rate. Fuck. Come on, cyborg guys.
Meanwhile, I'm over here paying extra money not to have Coke bottles.
And Tony, do you, I know you have friends that are filmmakers. Do you do any filmmaking? Or did you do any filmmaking?
Yeah, in my younger days, in my early 20s, we had a little production company called 15secondfix.com. This is pre-YouTube. And what we would do is we would do a 90-second short film each week, but only release it 15 seconds at a time, day by day.
Interesting.
So you'd go back, you watch 15 seconds, and at the end of the week, you could watch all of it. And we did, like 20 or 30 of those. We entered some into like little film festivals and stuff like that. And then, everyone was bitching at each other. And so we quit.
Right.
And then like a year later, YouTube started.
Fuck.
And one of the guys put a bunch on there, and they had one that actually was viral for a while. And, but yeah, I never really had the time to get back into it. We got back together. We had like a reunion, like 5 or 6 years after we shut down, and we did like one last movie together, which I directed, and it was silly and fun, and that's it.
Nice.
After that, it was just mostly post-production. I had a side gig for a while. This will be an interesting episode that I'm trying to like figure out how to work. So here in Utah, it was big news in the late 90s and up until like the mid 2000s. There were all these video companies that you would buy a movie, you would bring it to these video companies, and they would edit out any nudity, swearing.
Interesting.
I've heard of this kind of thing, yeah.
Essentially making like airline versions of movies like they used to, have everything like kind of cut out.
Yeah.
And James Cameron sued them because they were taking all the boobies out of Titanic. And he won.
He won.
And he won. And so it shut him down, and it was called Clean Flicks. And we tried to get the rights to make a documentary about it like 15 years ago, and someone had already beat us to the punch, but it never came out. And it's still, I think, on IMDb is like in production. Like they'll release it someday. But yeah, all that shit happened here in Utah, and I actually got a job working for them. I was a plant. Like I was getting info about them for the documentary, and they gave me a laptop. They gave me all this editing software, and I would go in and I would literally edit all the swearing and any nudity and boob scenes and violence out of things. It was a pretty crazy
What the hell?
thing.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
I hope you guys are able to do something with that material.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Like we have a bunch of footage and interviews somewhere, but like I said, someone else was like really pushing to get it done. So.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons I bring that up is we are thinking of doing something different for season 3's finale. Specifically, it is called the. Let's see if I can remember it.
I wasn't sure if you're going to share the big secret.
Just with Antonio.
Okay.
What is it? The Unofficial Willem Dafoe Bad Art Movie Festival Awards.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Willem Dafoe has this audio clip that has been making the rounds on like TikTok and stuff, where he talks about how important it is to specifically make bad art, to go out of your way to make bad art, and how freeing it is and how important it is as an artist to do that. To kind of like break that fear of making bad art by just doing it. So we have a bunch of kind of filmmaker friends that are in the same boat, that they used to do it and then, life caught up with them, whatever. Or they froze.
Right.
They let the fear kind of catch them and they stopped. So what we want to do for the finale of season 3 is a film festival of specifically bad short films.
Purposefully bad short films.
And
I like this a lot.
Give awards to the worst films. So I wanted to mention it to you. I didn't know if you still did filmmaking or if you knew any buds that would want to submit something awful.
Oh, definitely. We'll submit something awful.
Great.
Give me something to do. Yeah, we love that kind of stuff.
Hell yeah.
Right now I'm just kind of testing the waters to see if we have enough people that would do it to have a festival.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to do one, obviously, but
yeah,
a festival of one is not quite fun, as they say.
So I'm actually sponsoring 2 local short film festivals in April and in May.
No shit.
And the first one is April 17th. And I'll be on the judging panel of 9 of them.
Oh, shit.
And so I'll talk to those guys like, hey, if you guys really make this happen, these are just people who are just eager to show anything anywhere.
Great. Yeah.
But I haven't seen any of them yet, so we'll see if there's some bad ones. I'm like, I know a guy.
We want to see if we can hunt down like a $25 gift certificate to Chili's. I
like it.
I don't think they have Chili's anymore, but that's
Chili still exists.
Oh, I kind of wanted it not to.
It's Applebee's that are hard to find these days.
There's still
not here. We have.
There's still some Applebee's.
We're lousy with Applebee's.
All of our Applebee's have turned into Shake Shacks or whatever out here.
Maybe I'm thinking of Chi-Chi's.
You might be thinking of Chi-Chi's. I haven't seen a Chi-Chi's in a long time. Now that you mention it.
$25 gift certificate to Chi-Chi's.
Good luck.
It'll just be drawn on the back of a piece of cardboard.
Oh, we got a chat.
Is it porn? Dick pills?
Hi, I want to offer you promotion of your channels, viewers, followers, views, chatbots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Auto on. Incredibly flexible and convenient order management panel. Everything is in your hands. Turn it on/off/customize. Go to dogehype.com.
Nice.
Again with this fucking bullshit. No.
Well, the lighting is moodier. That's fine.
All right. I am unbothered either way.
Let me fix my dick. Okay.
Yeah, you fix your dick.
There we go.
That'd be fun for the deleted scenes.
Anyway. Did you say what year this was being?
Yeah, it's 2007.
2007. Okay. I'm trying to think of what comics we're doing at that point. But I can't remember.
Can't remember.
I want to say they were doing all the not building up to the Final Crisis, so it was like New 50 or not New 52, just 52. It was an interesting time. They were doing this. 52 was this comic where they put out an issue every week.
Okay.
So it was 4 writers writing all at the same time, because goddamn it, that's a lot.
Yes.
And they were all working with a bunch of like D-list characters because I want to say the big three were out of the picture for some reason. It was interesting.
We dead? Some of them dead?
I think they took a year off.
Just on sabbatical?
I think something awful happened. They're like, we need to take some time off.
I need a fucking break, guys.
Yeah, because I think Batman goes to what DC's version of Shangri-La is. Nanda Parbat. It's...
Sorry, you want to say that one more time?
Nanda Parbat.
Nanda
Yeah,
Bat
It's one of the places where there's a Lazarus pit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I want to clarify this in my brain. Because it sounds like they're combining two different storylines. And by storylines, I mean Tower of Babel and the year of 2005 in comics.
Just the entirety of 2005 comics.
There was a lot of crossover, and it was when they started to, and they still do this today. They would pick a creative and all right, you're in charge of the overarching direction of all of DC for now.
Okay.
And I want to say it was Jeff Johns.
That feels right for the time. I know that even me being very peripherally aware of comics at the time, I knew the name of Jeff Johns as being kind of a big deal.
Which I mostly stuck to just Batman around that time, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
But I remember there was something with the OMAC project and Brother Eye, and everyone was mad at Batman because he was being a dickhead. I think Grant Morrison came in right after this because he's like, I don't want Batman to be a dickhead anymore. We're gonna fix it.
Good.
Yeah, he's like, he's been a dickhead for a good 20 years in comics. We need to
let's turn that around.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's make his son the dickhead. I love Damien.
I thought it was going to be Damien. Yeah. Damien is kind of a little dickhole.
He's a little shit.
Isn't he?
Yeah. They've toned him down a little bit, but when he first showed up, I mean, he was raised by the literal League of Assassins.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess when your mom's Talia al Ghul.
Right, yeah. He tries to impress Batman by defeating the villain that Batman's looking for by chopping off his head and giving it to his father.
Oh, great.
It didn't go well.
It's like a cat bringing a dead bird to the doorstep.
Look, Father, I fixed this for you.
I brought you a present.
This is a stupid villain.
Be proud of me. Was it Condiment King?
No, I've been upset. No, it was the Spook.
The Spook?
Yeah, he was the guy that dressed like a ghost and
Scooby-Doo ass motherfucker.
He was a Scooby-Doo villain. He didn't deserve to have his head cut off by Damien.
No, that is a harsh reaction. Imagine if the fucking Mystery Inc. crew went around just decapitating every landlord that dresses a ghost. Well, actually, now that I mention that.
And if they played some groovy tunes, that'd be even better.
That would be even better. Especially if he gets decapitated in the midst of them running through a bunch of doors that don't match up properly. I love Scooby-Doo.
God, me too. There's this play. I want to say I forget what it is, but it's a spoof on the Peanuts characters.
Okay.
And it's written as though the Peanuts characters have all grown up and dealt with adult issues Pepper and Patty and was it Marcy?
Marcy, yeah.
Clearly lesbians.
Absolutely.
It's a little too dark for my
Yeah, I can see how you would get kind of edgelord dark with that kind of stuff, which is just even if you're trying to subvert something wholesome like that, it's just not the vibe. Look at the fucking Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey or whatever. Everyone fucking hated that.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Oh yeah, the Rotten Tomato scores for both audience and critics, I'm pretty sure, are single digits.
Lame. It looked pretty bad.
They're making a sequel anyway.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. I think it's still made 8 times its budget.
Right. It had no budget. So
right.
Yeah,
it was pretty easy to make more than zero.
Yeah.
But I want to do that with the Scooby-Doo gang, a postmodern Scooby-Doo spoof play.
Oh my god.
But I need somebody to pay me to live because I need time.
Yeah, that would be a big undertaking.
I just love the characters so much.
Yeah, They're pretty great. Plus, someone has to show them some love. All the cool shit that they're doing with those characters keeps getting thrown away.
Yeah, right? They did pretty openly admit that Velma's gay, though,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm finally. Good Lord. James Gunn tried to do that.
Yeah, he tried to do it in the early 2000s?
Yeah.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, in the fucking movies with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard and whatnot.
I need to hunt down his original script and read it.
If only Linda Cardellini had gotten to play a gay Velma as opposed to regular Velma.
I mean,
Not regular, but straight Velma.
that was like 2000, 2001. There's no way that
wouldn't have flown.
WB. Yeah, there's no way. I mean, if they're barely letting it happen now,
Yeah.
we're really off track, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're between acts.
Right.
It's fine.
Fuck, what was that? It was the most recent movie. It was like some Halloween special. But the Scooby-Doo, they have a villain costume designer.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's like the villain of that movie.
Huh.
Is all of the villains can be tied back to one person. It's the costume designer who's very gay, and Velma is all about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I need to actually watch that. That's very good.
It's fun. It's still like meh.
Yeah.
But that Z plot is very fun.
Outstanding.
And you get to see all of the classic villains from the original series who are in prison now because they fucked up.
Yeah.
And she designed their costumes for them.
Nice.
I guess not the robot, because the robot was a robot.
The robot was a robot.
It
That's
didn't
true.
know what it was doing.
No. The one time he was innocent. Just a robot.
Just a robot.
Yeah.
Just trying to do his goddamn job.
Yeah. It's not his fault that he was programmed for evil. Was it programmed for evil? I forget how that worked. It's been a long time.
I can't remember. I think he was just being a bit of a pain in the ass.
That sounds like a robot.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready to get
I was more of a Space Kook fan anyway.
Yeah, Space Kook's the best.
Great laugh.
Yeah, it's so good.
My goal in life is to be able to laugh like that on cue.
I just destroy my vocal cords every time.
Scare the bejesus out of people at Target.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
All right.
Okay.
Batman, huh? Barry's dead. Who'd have thunk it? Honestly, better death than he had in the comics.
Is there a bird?
Oh, yes. Oh, that was awful. Oh, I hate that.
What?
I'm playing with the effects.
Oh, okay. You're not going to spend this one on fire?
No. No, I can't find it.
I'm going to murder a bird.
Go to bed.
Well, hopefully we can get some room tone with the bird, and we'll be able to factor the bird out.
Was the bird there when you got here? Did you bring the bird?
I did not bring the bird. At least not intentionally. Maybe. I might have been tailed.
I mean, I could yell out the window. My neighbors already think I'm crazy because I'll smack the awning with a broom to get the raccoons to be quiet.
I mean, that's one way to do it.
Trying to watch a movie. Can't be rearranging furniture.
Shut up! It's probably going to be fine. It's don't.
Hey.
There's an airplane. Oh boy. Never a dull moment, eh?
Listen, whenever we get our McDonald's sponsorship, we'll spring for
No, I'm just
studio.
It's just making me excited to finally like start working on the house. Like I want to tear up that basement room so badly and soundproof the fuck out of it.
If you did change your name to Joey Rouse, and you showed up to produce the porno that we'll inevitably end up making,
God.
whoever is at the door to let people in is not going to let you in.
No.
Like, you're an actor? No, I'm the producer. No, you're not.
No, you're not. No, there's not nearly enough gel in your hair. I can't see nearly enough of your chest hair right now.
Now he has a movie coming out last year.
What, this year?
Last year.
Last year.
Oh, interesting. It's called The Impact, and it is a result of collaborative filmmaking initiative run by Create 50. The feature film is comprised of 37 short films.
Cool. Interesting.
So overall, it has 6.6 out of 10, but it's a series of short films, so...
And that's IMDb, I take it?
It's also IMDb. So, other notables... His first movie is a movie called F.I.S.T. It's an acronym.
It's an acronym?
It's an acronym.
Oh, God.
For something.
I'm afraid of what that stands for.
Hearts of Fire, Jagged Edge, Checking Out, Music Box. Hearts of Fire looks... Is that Bob Dylan?
Bob Dylan?
Yeah, that's Bob Dylan. I didn't know he had ever acted.
Nor did I.
It has a 4.3 out of 10.
Jesus Christ.
Hearts of Fire, indeed. Yeah, it looks like we're aware of his larger films.
Okay. There was that one moment where she is like... I'm sorry, there are children playing outside.
Is there a playground all of a sudden?
There's just screaming children. There's like laughing children outside.
Children don't live on this block.
It's 9:14 at night. It's a school night.
It's a school night.
Oh, it's Good Friday. They might have off for Easter weekend.
As you were, children.
I guess. I mean. Anyway. And we touched on this in the last episode, how like in the interviews that were given about him around the time of Showgirls and in the wake of Showgirls, that he supposed... Hold for plane. I swear to God.
Oh, I haven't heard that in so long. It's been a while since I've been on a film set. Hold for plane.
Yeah, just in that frustrated hell tone.
All right. So
and cue laughing children.
Oh God, yeah.
No.
Hopefully not at this point.
Uh,
There is so much information about this guy.
I believe it.
I'm partially from my own brain. I'm just kind of lightly touching on the events, but I there's a documentary I was unaware of.
Oh,
I think there's two documentaries, but like one's the like better known one.
okay.
When I picked up the comic books yesterday from Ben, I was
Yeah.
telling him about this, and he's like, "Oh, are you guys gonna do like an elaborate episode on?" I'm like, "No, because we're not a true crime podcast."
Fair.
But because it is Hollywood, sometimes we are.
Yeah, we kind of have to do that sometimes because some shit goes down. But
I know on the Mother Dearest episode it was Xanadu. I mean, Mother Dearest we did talk about.
we
crime
got
stuff.
true crimey in both of those. Yeah.
But I can't remember what the Xanadu one was.
Oh, is the person killing because he thought Olivia Newton-John was giving him messages through the
That's right.
movie or something? And it threatened Sandra Day O'Connor, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's burned into my brain a little bit.
Well, you have to edit them, so you're like
Yeah.
listening to it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Good luck with this episode.
Oh my God.
I don't know what it is about. Like I can listen to true crime. I cannot watch true crime documentaries.
I have a harder time with them, I think. There's something, I mean, something inherently different about visual storytelling in whenever it comes to documentary information that I think is just, it's more emotionally, like, I guess manipulative is kind of the word, but also just it really just hammers some of the shit home harder in a lot of cases. Like, there are times where I'll be listening to like Last Podcast on the Left or Behind the Bastards or whatever, and like I'll have to kind of stop and be like, holy fuck, is he actually describing this?
Right, yeah.
And I'll be like a little bit beside myself for a second, but it's not the same level as like sitting there and actually watching a documentary.
Well, I have such a incredible visual recall that I can remember a true crime special I watched when I was 12.
Jesus.
Visually.
Yeah.
Narratively, I have no idea who it was.
Sure.
But I can listen to a podcast, no problem. So that I know that is how my brain works.
Yeah.
Somehow reading Ronan Farrow's journalism paper, whatever, article. That's the word I'm looking for. So my brain's on fire.
Yeah, I believe it.
That had the same effect as if I had watched a documentary.
Yeah,
Like, it was potent. Especially the Asia Argento stuff was horrible.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
Because I remember like the Cosby stuff. I remember that coming out like day after day, and like there's another person.
It's because he has like 60 something accusers,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
When the Weinstein stuff started to come out, I remember when specifically, is her name is it Asia, or is it said differently?
I think it's pronounced Asia.
Asia?
I've heard it pronounced Asia Argento, but
That makes sense because she's Italian. And it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter, but
yeah.
I remember her being brought up and people immediately being like, "Oh, she can't be believed." So like having that moment in time ingrained in my skull, and then reading her account of what happened, it was an interesting day at work.
I believe that. Yeah.
I cannot tell you how excited I am to talk about The Cobbler and the Thief.
Yeah.
I wanted to rant at somebody about this movie since I first learned about it in college. It's fascinating. I remember falling down a Wikipedia rabbit hole for hours, just researching it. And you know what? No Harvey Weinstein. Wait. Fuck.
What?
There's Harvey Weinstein in that story too.
Seriously? God damn it.
Yeah. Yep. But he won't be involved in Blonde, I think.
No, he's not involved in Blonde. I'm fairly certain he also won't be involved in Assassin's Creed. So
I hope not.
I'll be so fucking
Oh my
angry.
God.
If I have to bring up Harvey Weinstein in Assassin's Creed, I'm putting in the affix that he is actively murdered.
Which, if I know anything about that series, that's possible, right?
They never really let you play much in the present day.
Right.
Not too much.
I couldn't get past the race with his brother, so
I hope you are able to get past that point, because being able to fist fight the Pope at the end of that game is so fucking great.
I want to fight the Pope so bad.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Shit. It definitely feels like a moment that I would pass off to my brother and like, just beat this fucking person.
Yeah.
We've discovered that Bushy likes to go outside, like on a leash.
Oh, really? I wouldn't have expected that from her.
No. And she hopped up on the little brick ledge, and the bird saw it. Was pissed.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's not a thing that would end very well.
No. So since it's been a minute since we've recorded, I'm just gonna rant about a topic to kind of get back into it.
Sure. Yeah.
My bones hurt and I can't breathe.
Fucking tell me about it.
Yeah. God. I was just thinking of that couch gag that I think it's Hertzfeld did.
Oh God.
where it becomes so deeply abstract.
Yeah, it gets weird.
It's
it
like a
gets real
squiggle and a
fucking weird.
zero, and it's like, I'm Bart. Howdy. I don't know. It's been forever.
Lindsay is watching Nope for the first time. The line of wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men in the beginning made her screech.
I don't know that yet.
I have a copy of it.
I want to rewatch. I want to have a Jordan Peele night. I want to rewatch Us.
I need to get copies of, I want to get the Blu-rays for Get Out and Us, because right now I just have that Redbox DVD copy of Get Out that I never returned, and I don't have a copy of Us currently. So I need those for my collection.
I just have Get Out. Us is one that like I didn't quite understand the first time I watched it. I think I watched it with you.
Yeah, we watched it when we lived together, I think.
And like I enjoyed it, but I was like, I'm not getting it all.
I liked it a lot. I didn't like it as much as Get Out.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah, really good.
Yeah, honestly.
My snobby nerd copy of Midsommar arrived today.
Oh yeah,
because I have like the regular bare bones Blu-ray, but the only way you can get the director's cut is directly through A24.
Oh yeah, that figures.
Yeah, and it comes with it. It's really nice. It's this like bound book.
Oh,
and then you open up and there's like the Blu-ray, but then all the watercolor drawings that are throughout the movie
are also
in this book. Yeah,
that's
it's really
cool.
Nice.
I love that.
A little more expensive than I wanted, but
like how expensive?
Like $50.
It's not terrible. No. I think it's a good chunk of change, but it's not terrible. I mean, I'm about to drop $70 on fucking Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, and that's the regular version of the game.
Yeah, I'm like, if I hadn't already bought the regular version of Midsommar, I probably wouldn't feel as silly.
Yeah, that's fair.
But then I am who I am, so I'm like, I actually like both versions for different reasons, so I want both versions.
No, this is very you. Yeah. That tracks.
Because I never watched the theatrical cut until I showed it to Belinda the other day. I'd only seen the director's cut. So I was like, oh, I can see why this works. But also the scene that they cut adds this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm a nerd. Can't wait for the 4.5, 5 hour director's cut of Beau is Afraid. I'll buy both versions.
Oh, God. Have you seen that yet?
No. I wanted to go Saturday after we drank, but I didn't get super hungover. I was just like,
yeah.
I'm like, I'm not leaving the house.
Yeah, I get that.
Potato. Oh, I think I did a mini movie marathon.
You did do your mini movie marathon. You did your Lolita and your Tenet, and
I did Tenet. I did Lolita, and then after that, I changed directions because I'm like, oh, I need my brain too hungover for this. I watched From Beyond.
From Beyond.
It's from the same dudes who did Reanimator.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, it's horror, it's cheesy, it's gross, but it's fun.
Yeah, sure.
They have some very strange ideas of what BDSM is. It's just hilarious. And then at that point, after watching 3 movies, I had no brains left. So I was like, you know what I'm going to try? You know what I've never seen? Bloodsport. Never seen Bloodsport.
Yeah, you went in a real different direction.
You know what movie I enjoyed the most out of that day?
Bloodsport.
Fucking Bloodsport.
That's amazing.
I've watched a movie by Christopher Nolan, Stanley Kubrick, and I think Stuart Gordon did From Beyond, who's like still an auteur, even if he's a gross one. But the movie I enjoyed the most was fucking Bloodsport. A movie that I've heard multiple times described as one of Donald Trump's favorites, although he has somebody stand by to fast forward through the non-kung fu parts. Which, like, there's not that much plot.
What? Just my brain. God, I've heard that he loves that movie. I did not hear the fast forward boy detail.
Yeah, it's not a dense plot, Don. You can sit through.
Eric, I need you to push the button.
Also, Forrest Whitaker's in it.
fucking wonderful. And
like,
I love that man.
Every scene he's in, he's got like a cheese eating smile on. Like he's aware of how silly it is that he's there at all.
And he's just loving
and
it.
He's just like thrilled to be on set. He's like, I'll tase you. And like he's a cop or like a fed or whatever. And his partner is like playing it dead straight. Like,
so he gets so if his partner's playing it dead straight, he just gets to kind of go off the wall a bit then.
But like it's not in character. Like it's not written that way, and he doesn't give a shit.
It's just him having fun.
He's just him having fun.
I love that for him.
It's like, God, of those 4 movies, I would probably watch Bloodsport again.
That's amazing.
Probably would not watch Lolita or Tenet.
I'm still curious about Tenet, even though everyone I've ever talked to about it is like, that was fucking incomprehensible.
I am mad that I agree with that. I don't want to, but I do. Because I wanted to like it.
It's like part of me is concerned. Like, what, like, if I watch this movie, if I don't get it, all right, fine. I'm same as the vast majority of people, apparently, because no one fucking gets this movie. But what if I watch it and I'm like, oh no, that made perfect sense. Like, what the fuck's wrong with me then?
That's kind of how I felt with Inception, because people were like, I don't understand it. And like, that made perfect sense.
No, Inception was fine. Inception's not that hard to understand.
It's really not. I think what it is with Tenet is there are movies that I watched. I'm like, that was a vibe. Like, I'm not supposed to understand it. Like every movie by David Lynch,
sure,
excluding The Straight Story,
is
like, go with the vibe, go with the feel of it. There's plot, sure. Tenet feels like you're supposed to know what's going on, and you don't.
But you don't. Okay, yeah. So this is a needlessly obtuse, obscure movie.
Yeah, I mean, if you do watch it and figure it out, let me know, because I did not.
I mean, if I have to write a goddamn dissertation to figure this out, I swear to God.
Season 8, second hell. So
yeah, it's just every episode is another chapter of that dissertation, just until finally we have a masterclass on Tenet. Fuck me, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was curious. Like this story has a nauseating effect on me. Like a visceral effect, and I didn't know if that was just going to be me, or if other audiences or other people or you would find it as tragic as I do.
I mean, I find it specifically heartbreaking, and it is like existential level fear.
Great
for me.
Save that for Act 3, because that's when we get back. I'm basically going to talk about the recobbled cut, and then we'll talk about the existential dread. But first, I'm going to go pee.
Go pee and or vomit.
Which of those apostles was a dickhead?
Judas?
Oh yeah, I guess he was the other one. The one that eventually was. He was like a tax collector.
Oh, Nico.
Yeah, Nico.
No, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know my Bible that well at this point.
That's what I imagine this Art Pinkerton being is. Anyway, cut this out. This is shit.
I was watching. Oh my god! It was a clip of Hank Azaria talking about Mel Blanc I saw recently, where he's just like, a bunch of us in The Simpsons, on the Simpsons cast, were like trying to replicate what he does, like imitating a character in a character's voice. Because it was the whole like rabbit season, duck season episode of Looney Tunes, where he's voicing Bugs doing Daffy and Daffy doing Bugs. And it's like, that's so hard to do. Like, the man was a goddamn voice magician.
I love listening to masters of their field talk about who they can be. Mm-hmm. Wild.
Incredible. Yeah. That's what podcasts are, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I found that either podcasts are free therapy or an excuse to drink with your buds.
Yeah, honestly.
And like
we've done both.
we've done both. Mostly we've guested on drinking podcasts. I think if we try to drink on this podcast, our episodes would be like 6 hours long.
I mean, when we bring Caleb on and we do
That's
those,
true.
Yeah,
That's true. And those are fun.
those are fun. Yeah.
Those are a once a season thing.
Yeah. Not that I wasn't thinking about bringing the rest of that mezcal to this recording, but
I have a couple of those beers left. And they're real good. I'm not gonna lie. All the mezcal was really good. I'd never had it before.
yeah, it's quite good.
It would be appropriate at this point in the podcast.
Yeah. But anyway,
I might get another sound blanket.
for the windows. God, how hot can we make it in this room? Okay.
DeRazzled pea coats.
That's an option in Redbubble, right? Peacoats?
Sure, should be.
Jesus Christ, could you imagine? It'd be the itchiest, worst peacoats I've ever experienced.
Straight wool.
It's just some stapled together felt.
All right, well, now I'm going to make it.
My phone does not want to play nice.
I think it just doesn't want to deal with blood rain.
I think we scared it is part of the problem here.
I told you how my PS4 acted up when I tried to feed it Assassin's Creed.
That's true, yeah. Literally try to spit the Blu-ray back out.
I was like, I know you were just chewing on some Twin Peaks, but here's some Assassin's Creed. And it was like, bleh.
I was really nervous I was going to get blood rained.
It was a rough start. I was like, oh, he's getting blood rained.
I tripped, right, like I stuttered, right,
Yeah.
like I transposed a couple of words right off the bat. I was like, oh, this is going to go poorly.
Once you were in it, though, you were
I was
going.
going. I can't wait to actually listen to that playback and see if it's at all intelligible.
I don't think you breathed for 4 minutes.
I was hard to find a good place to breathe a couple times there. I was just running sentences into each other.
Really don't want to be blood rained.
I really didn't. I want to put that off for as long as possible, Jack. Oh my God. Ow.
At Sean's party, I definitely was pretty goofed up, and
I could tell.
oh yeah.
I think because when you sat down next to me out by the fire pit, I had mentioned to you my rehearsal run of this took 4 minutes and 56 seconds, and you have no recollection of that.
No, zero, none. Well, we're live, so I'll pass on some of the more illicit things I did. But,
sure.
yeah, it definitely was like a moment in the night where I was upset. I went to it was brief.
Okay,
at least I remember it briefly.
Fair.
So I was like, all right. I do remember saying, I need drugs. Evie, somebody find Evie for me.
Yeah, that's about right.
And then I just started mixing beer and vodka plus other substances. And then you talked about this, and I don't remember any. I barely remember you being there.
Yeah, that tracks.
But the reason I bring it up is because I think Steve asked me about what we're doing for next season. I ranted through the whole thing. So they're very excited.
I'm sure. I'm excited. I think we have some cool shit planned for next season. I was just thinking earlier, like, damn, my mom agreed to appear on the show.
We're opening with that.
I
know. Steve recommended I read Foundation by Asimov.
I've always wanted to read that.
I haven't read any Asimov, so that's why I was like, yeah, so if I have to read one.
Well, I read Fantastic Voyage. That was Asimov, wasn't it?
I thought it was Jules Verne.
Was it?
No idea.
I'm not looking it up. My phone's being stupid.
Right.
One or the other. If it's not him, I haven't read any Asimov.
I don't know. We'll look this up and then we'll resume.
Okay.
It is a song by several people and the 1966 movie. And a cartoon.
The Coolio song, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right. Yeah.
Oh, it was Asimov?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Jules Verne.
I've read... Wait.
No, it was Asimov.
Okay, so I've read one Asimov.
Rogue One wrecked.
Yeah, absolutely. But to say 8 Assassin's Creed's lunch?
Yeah.
100%, yeah. Man. And that's a good way to put it. It just... Whew. Yeah, had it not been up against that, I think things would have turned out a lot differently.
At least maybe a sequel.
Yeah, I think at least they maybe would have gotten that sequel. I would have liked to have seen what they could have done with the Cold War, but
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Well, that brings me to a question I had. What is the most recent history that they go to?
it'd be like chronologically, like the closest to today.
Yeah. Because Cold War's not that long ago.
Cold War's not that long ago. That would be the closest to today that they got to. They've never done 20th century. They did late 19th century Victorian London in Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Okay. All right. Because
that game was really good, actually.
like Cold War, I'm like, oh, so I'm just living my grandfather's
kind of
memory, which could be funny and
Could
awkward.
be. Yeah.
Granddad. Got the gout.
I don't think so. I fucking hope not. One of my coworkers has gout, and he's like miserable.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, his feet fucking swell up sometimes, and it's just like it's horrible.
Yeah. It's a rich diet thing, right?
Yeah, something like that. Which I should probably watch that, but I ate a lot of rich foods. Well, not that rich. I don't know.
I mean, like butter.
I eat some butter. I don't think I don't eat an unreasonable amount of butter. I also spent a lot of my life avoiding butter. Just I don't know.
It's a weird color.
Yeah. Doesn't seem right. It comes from milk and it's yellow.
Yeah.
How do they do that? That doesn't seem right. I don't trust it.
Now, if it was derived from a banana.
No,
That's how you get your butter.
That's a banana butter. Cletus, get them bananas out that churn! I tell you again. You okay, bud?
It's very like on one hand I'm like, okay, well it would be fine if they had like developed this backstory from the start, which it sounds like they did.
Yeah, they definitely did.
And I mean, I haven't played any of the games, so I can't say like, oh, this has been hinted. But like, I also recently watched a video on Lost, and they're like, well, if you look back at the, like episode 3, you can see the smoke monster's actually Jacob. And I'm like, oh, great, it's still stupid.
No, wait, what?
No, actually,
that can't be right.
No,
They
it's
didn't.
not.
They didn't know. They didn't know that shit back then.
no. It's kind of like beyond my suspension of disbelief.
Yeah. It's too ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it.
Like I'm now regretting that I was so upset at Aliens. I would have liked to have gone back to when it was just regular old aliens. That would have been preferable to Celestials that come down to Earth and make a race of people to. I mean, Zeus did it, but
Yeah. Zeus is also fake.
Zeus is also fake.
Yeah.
And at no point do I listen to like a Greek mythology legend and I'm like, this one's really grounded. Remember that time he peed on a person and got him pregnant?
Yes, that time that swan came down to Earth and impregnated that lady.
Right. Zeus has got a thing. It's an awful thing.
It's an awful thing, yeah.
Yeah. They should make Hades into a game. Or a movie. The game, a movie based on the game. The game's really good.
I have not played the game yet. I want to very badly.
It's so good.
It's everyone I've ever talked to about is like, this is fucking amazing. Like
I don't even like that style of gaming.
yeah.
But the intricacy between the relationships and the ever evolving story and just like, oh, like you talk to this person over here, so that affects this, and this.
I do like that.
Yeah. But like little things too, not like big story arcs, just like, oh, now you can Medusa's gonna be like flirty with you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Yeah. They also do like pretty heavily hint that the protagonist is bi, which I do appreciate.
I do appreciate that, yes.
And I think they're already
There's a sequel in the
Yeah.
works. Yeah. We were playing as like his sister or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, I forget the specifics, but
Game was hard as hell, but it was fun.
I want to play it. I want to play it real bad.
It's I mean, it's crazy because Chat GPT is like it's really received so much public attention for obvious reasons, but it's like such a small part of the AI puzzle that all this is kind of hit so recently and so strongly with the art side. And it's have you seen like a lot of these clips of like people making little movies with AI prompts, and the people that post are like, look, I used 5 prompts and look at this dope ass film, and then like the other 90% of people like dunk on it, like, look at their hands.
Yeah. It's hands and mouths. I feel like it really, really fucks up on a lot of the time.
How are the stories of because I have not watched these films. I've seen like still images, but not AI generated films.
Mostly they're just like they're visual showcases at this point. They're not like
Gotcha. Okay.
They're not fully fleshed like emotive films with a purpose yet, from what I've seen at least.
Yeah, the few that I've gotten a look at, like they don't have like they're not like narratively structured or of any like meaningful length. They're just like long enough to give you an idea of what's going on and like kind of like catch the vibe of what you're trying to get it to present.
Let me throw a curveball. So it's not doing great with stories right now. It's hitting a lot of cliches. What if in the future, as it will get better, it replaces writers that write the big summer tentpoles, leaving filmmakers and writers to write the more personal, what would have been mid-tier stories or indie stories? Because can you imagine an AI trying to write everything everywhere all at once?
God.
It would, the internet, the entire thing would explode.
It would fall apart so quickly. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's just humans are going to get replaced by AI for cost-saving purposes to make tentpole films. Yeah. Writers can continue to write these low-budget indie passion pieces all they want, but no one's going to make them.
Yeah.
I think with the art pieces that we were talking about, like on one hand, it's really funny because it's like, obviously it looks like, if you look at it closely, it looks dumb as fuck. But on the other hand, it's like what we're talking about with exponential growth. It's like, I think they're going to figure out hands, quickly enough for this to be a problem.
Some of them already have. I've definitely seen some where the hands actually look like hands. Instead of it looking like some kind of like Doctor Strange nightmare.
Let me make your anxiety worse,
please.
Oh no.
So if I can even find it. So one of the things I forgot to mention as far as like how I would use AI is to help kind of make it like a image book. Like if I'm writing a story and I'm trying to develop a scene, I would say like, provide me with some images of like a haunted house in Scotland or something like that.
Okay.
And people are already doing that. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, Scott, but like that's an AI image. Like there's this like account that basically has already done the thing I needed it to do because I'm writing a story about like a haunted house in Centralia. And
hey, that's not Scotland.
Yeah. Like if somebody had been like, oh, Jerry Fingerfucker was did this painting. Would you like to buy it? I'd be like, hell yeah. Because I can't tell if it's an AI image or not unless I'm told.
Yeah. So I went to a...
Sorry, Jerry Fingerfucker.
It's funny. Sorry, Jerry Fingerfucker.
He's a fingerfucker. He deserves it.
So my sister's partner played an acoustic show at a gallery in Greensburg. And I was just looking around at all the stuff around the room, and there were a couple things on the wall that were AI generated images. I mean, they were painted by a person, or at least one of them was painted by a person, but some of them were just generated by an AI image and printed out on a canvas. And now they're for sale in this little local gallery.
Interesting. Were they charging the usual price of a...
It was... I can't remember the exact price. It was above $100 though.
Wow.
For something somebody typed into a program.
Excuse you, that acrylic costs a lot of money. Yeah, I know.
Those inkjet cartridges get really fucking expensive.
Visit our Redbubble store.
When I upload things online now, like images on the lighting portfolio and stuff like that, you can specifically like tag it, like do not allow use with AI. And if you don't do that, by default, AI can control all that stuff and bring it into its fold and use it however it algorithms. So that's a weird thing. Checkbox that you need to look out for.
Almost immediately when this became an issue, I submit a lot of short stories to different journals and sites and whatever. They immediately were like, if AI was involved in the creation of a story, do not fucking send it to us or you will be permanently banned.
Oh, I'm sure it was an immediate issue.
Yeah.
And people probably started flooding their submission boxes with whatever AI stuff they had been spitting out.
You know what ChatGPT did create that I was pretty happy with?
What's that?
My fucking author bio.
Really?
Yeah. Because that shit
drives
me insane.
I do genuinely hate writing that kind of shit. Like anything that's like self-promotion or like trying to sell myself for a specific purpose. Like if I'm writing a fucking resume or like an about me kind of thing, it takes so long and my body just clenches the entire time.
All I did was I was like, here's the information, the facts that I want included, make me sound smart. And it was like, but I'm like, okay, but a little nicer. And it's like, oh, okay. But like those little tweaks are both fascinating, but also terrifying.
A little bit, yeah.
I need to get it through my Instagram.
Yeah. Because I've written emails to bosses or some shit, like stuff I truly have no desire to put my brain into, and I'll put it out there. I'm like, okay, but make this sound
more professional,
or I'll say like write it at a 6th grade level, and it can do that.
Sure, yeah.
Make it a good shit
write
sandwich.
It like I'm talking to a 5-year-old.
Yeah. Like if ChatGPT takes over all obnoxious emails, I can't be mad about that.
I'm pretty sure that at least half the emails I get from clients, I'm hoping are written by chatbots because.
Did you watch any of *Halt and Catch Fire*?
No, I've not. I've wanted to. That's been on my list for a long time.
It was one of those shows that the first season was so fucking tight and good that I'm like, you could have stopped it there.
Yeah.
There's more story to tell, but like you could have stopped it there and I've been completely satisfied. There's no way you're going to top this in the second season, which they didn't.
Sure.
But it was still really good, and I didn't get to finish it. But it's like Lee Pace.
I do like Lee Pace.
Scoot McNairy, I think.
Scoot McNairy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard. That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah. It's really good.
Nice.
I think I forget who's holding it hostage. It might be Amazon.
It's either Amazon or Netflix. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think it was on Netflix because that's how I was watching it, and then it switched
and it
to
moved.
Amazon, which I don't have. And I'm like, can I just buy the DVD? Oh, there aren't any because you're holding it hostage. Okay, got it.
I'm so tired. Just the media landscape makes me so angry.
Do you think that if we weren't hosting this type of podcast, that we'd be as aware of the bullshit that's happening, or is it just so present that
I think it's just so present. I think we're more tapped into it because of how much attention we pay to these things and all the research that we do. But I think we'd still probably have some level of awareness of these things.
probably?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm seeing these in TikToks, and like, of course they're algorithmed into my algorithm, but
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you're a normal person talking about studio politics. I hate this world. This is not the world I wanted.
No, but here we are.
Here we are. Oh no, Mary joined.
Mary joined.
Yeah, Mary, who was very much there for my theater experience. Yeah.
I will say,
I imagine she shares a lot of the same feelings I do about theater.
I will say, out of all the things that you've dropped on me as a surprise in the middle of an episode, this is my favorite.
The answer How to Fix Maryland, don't.
It's
There's
don't.
15 fucking Maryland Monroe movies.
It's just not
Don't
fucking
do it.
needed. I don't. I don't understand the utter lack in creative thinking of Hollywood executives.
There were two ways you could have gone. You could have either not done the movie, or you could have made it entirely fictitious and done Mulholland Drive.
Yeah.
Either way, you didn't need to make this movie.
Yeah, seriously. Like,
There was, I forget her name, but there was a Marilyn Monroe movie like 3 years before Blonde.
was there?
I think it's like Marilyn and Me. I can't
Oh,
remember if that
okay,
was the
yeah.
one or not.
You had stopped listing release years after a certain point in that list, so I wasn't sure.
And I believe it did well. It was less watched because it wasn't NC-17 with Anna de Armas's lovely breasts.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
And there was less CGI feet eye.
I'm sure it was at least 99% less CGI fetus. I could do with never seeing that again. It's like I need to understand. Like, did Netflix just decide, like, no, we want to do ours now? Like,
I mean, they for a while, and maybe still, they've wanted to like force their way into the Academy Awards.
yeah,
And I think that they saw, oh, it's a Hollywood movie about Marilyn Monroe it's a fairly good cast.
yeah. They want to legitimize their studio
Right.
in the eyes of the mainstream by winning big awards, and I think that's going to kill them.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
It's just like you can't just like, yes, Hollywood movies about Hollywood do well in the award crowds. It's dumb. It's stupid. It's a waste of time and money, but they do well with that set. Yeah. And it's, I don't know. I think especially the more we see like people's passion projects and like smaller releases kind of getting like dropped at the first sign that they're not going to be a massive hit, or like just destroyed before release for tax purposes and all this shit.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking disheartening to see like this is the shit that makes it to the big release. This is what happens. I don't know. It hurts my brain.
You want to talk some more about Birdman?
Yeah.
Okay.